By the way, so Zelensky right now, he keeps calling for the no-fly zone, calling for jets. He's calling for things that you go, hey, man, we can't do any of this. And he still just won't stop. And we support Ukraine. They should be able to determine their own future. They're a sovereign country. And I think the invasion is monstrous. But I also believe that, like, you can't keep asking for a World War III. You got to take a deal here, buddy. Take a deal. Of course, you're not going to like the deal. But that's okay. Take a deal. And by the way, I want you to get up something right now because everybody's like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? I want you to get up a Word document right now because I believe in the power of the sternly worded letter. I've always believed that. Think of when you were coming home. You know when a teacher tucked a letter in your pocket or your backpack that had to go to your mother? How terrified were you on the bus? You were terrified, and then you got home. Maybe you were a latchkey kid, and you got to go. It's like going home with the report card when there is a note that you know your mother has to read from the teacher, and you can't even open it. You don't know what it really says, and sometimes you know what it says because you watch the teacher write it, and you're like, if I don't give it to my mother, I'm more than fucked because the teacher's going to call because the teacher will tell you I'm calling to make sure she read it. Dear Vladimir Putin, right now, because enough's enough. Dear Vladimir Putin, hey, buddy. Now, what hey, buddy does is right off the bat, he's wondering, am I really his buddy? Because when someone says, hey, buddy, it's kind of aggressive. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like your brother says it nice. He was a hey, buddy, but a lot of people don't. Hey, buddy, it's kind of like a kind of an aggro move, right? So you go, hey, buddy. So right off the bat, he's on the defensive. Hey, buddy, next line.
Okay.
The war in Ukraine, you don't do that, Ben. You indent.
Oh.
Don't you know how to write?
Well, we already did dear, so then we do another indent, I guess? I guess
Yeah,
you could do
well,
that.
because hey, buddy's its own thing.
Okay.
Hey, buddy, the war in Ukraine is ridiculous.
Okay.
This is not your best moment. In fact, it's literally one of your worst. It's not so much the bombing or the shelling. Ben, can you fix it?
Sorry.
It's not so much the bombing or the shelling of heavily civilian areas. If anyone understands that, we do. LOL. Because you want to also like build rapport. If anyone understands that, we do. LOL. The reality is that this is now fucking with everybody's money. And we know that was never your goal. But that is what is happening. So please cut it out before we're all broke and no one has enough money to kill. Signed, Barry Weiss. Sign it, Barry Weiss. Read it back.
Dear Vladimir Putin, hey, buddy. The war in Ukraine is ridiculous. This is not your best moment. In fact, it's literally one of your worst. It's not so much the bombing or the shelling of heavily civilian areas. If anyone understands that, we do. LOL. The reality is that this is now fucking with everybody's money, and we know that was never your goal, but that is what is happening. So please cut it out before we are all broke and no one has enough money to kill. Signed, Barry Weiss.
You're telling me that has no effect? I doubt it. You're telling me that has no effect if it goes over there and he realizes what he's doing is fuck with everybody's money. We're all trying to build death machines here. We're all trying to do it. We're all trying to run Ponzi schemes in the financial sector. We're all trying to bilk sick people for insulin money. We're all trying to fuck over the poor. And we're all trying to do this, and this guy's getting in the way now because it's fucking our money up. With the gas prices high, how are we going to drive all the kids to the private prisons? You know how much it costs now to drive a group of kids to a private prison? You know, the cost of everything's going to go up, not just gas, plastics, metals. The restraints that we put those kids in ain't cheap. The materials to make the restraints that we put our children in when we ship them to a private prison are not free. So this is fucking everybody's money up. When we fly some mission to go bomb someone, is that gas on the house? No. Okay? When the police are doing ride-alongs in different neighborhoods looking for people to kill, they have to have gas as well. Do you understand that? Are you not with that, or is something wrong with you? Okay? When a realtor drives a young couple around so she can trick them into buying a house they can't afford, and they take out a mortgage that they can't pay back, and they spend the next 10 or 20 years of their life mired in hopeless depression and addictions to just drag themselves out of bed, to go to the jobs they hate, to spend the money to pay that mortgage while their children are literally masturbating on OnlyFans for money. Who puts the gas in the car to get that going? So what I would like you to do, Mr. Vladimir Putin, is realize how hard it is for everybody to participate in the society that we've set up here with the high price of fuel.